Karibu Terri.
Thank you, Irene.
Channel ya Irene Karamta Masaki. Pleasure meeting you after so long.
Sure.
Tuerigana
Before Corona?
Before Corona.
Yeah.
But we thank God to save
this opportunity.
Natoka mashokire nkatho nyigo tweka na thirie mwili.
Kabisa.
How is life taking you?
Life.
Yeah, glowing.
Tugo. Ntigo gompenjoy ndiabuge Murungu no mwega. Yeah, it's been of course due to Corona antutabati bara nandibia twathe biashara na kumenya cia thukire antuja wini all that but the most important treasure buru maisha ni health na life. Things which are free, your family is intact. Ntokera Murungu bwega.
First of all, tukiambiria twire rieto riaku kuria umite kuendelea na ndio.
Okay, bega. Mbitagwa Terri Mwendwa Thiong'o Makanyakini ngori gutererwa Nakuru hau yathie ngwecira
ile ogorero Nakuru.
Ndagorerwa in 2010 April. Right now around 11 years.
11 years in marriage. How is marriage?
Marriage is beautiful with God. I will say what kila mtu huaga, it has its own ups and downs.
Sure.
Nonto kwenu njako teko na sana gutana kwe na even your own mom, your own blood in short. Na ndeno kuimagine mtu ndagorwe ndina 30 years. Mtu ibatare miaka isasa wa. Na ndiko kuimagine kinyere 30 years we independent, but then they are independent. Kwanza ndare a provider. Nonto kuma nko nakagwe kambere mami was ailing, my brother ari form 2 na ndinda kara with your family nonto my mom was a single mother. Na ndi decision making, financial, ndare stable thank God from the age of around 23. Na ndino kuimagine na ndio gutonya wathone. Na besides watho mtu akurite kivyake mwetanire bya tubaba nene no mwanka kwethera kwina so many things twana tweja bado but marriage at the end of the day is beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah, upo kuga and I'm thanking God for this far.
Kila mtu anachoweka touch on that. Lakini ande sana this magwaja unande magwaja una hizo challenges.
Okay, I thank God to most of our downs to face it amo. Yeah, na they external internal kumane na batu and how we relate. Unda wana letoko gara 2010 I was 30. Kuona ni by the time I'm 30 tena mwana and then go settle ndanda chererero tekwaga mukuruka na ni ndo ura kwerere mami na aje kumenyera my brother kwari nyaka uguaga kana ndindagurwa nkaya control ndimba ku manage antu baba ko kana mbi. Actually ndagore my mom ako pass and I have purpose ya ku move on. Otherwise ndakira no ndakara kinyano ndakiraga kinyana ndagurwa ngatonya na mami kigorone kana anyway to itare ati akarana ni growth but most of the time really down health wise. Yeah, so na dinko ko in that 29 I really wanted kids immediately 2010 sorry. Nonto dona ndi am 30 by the time I'm 40 nende mwana nyate kinyite yake 10 nonto kwena that period 9 months ngokamata nimba
buga imwaka.
Yes, 9 months me mwaka. Na ndio ninda romba what we call honeymoon baby. Once I conceive, I mean once tumeona the first month I conceive April ora mweri era December. I mean mwaka joerika the baby is here. But now that became the biggest challenge of marriage kana our marriage. Na they being a lady it affects me more on to neareba kamataga the burden. That's why I'll talk about me, not us. But nyako encourage men who are in the same situation like them, my husband, they are I will touch his challenges. Yeah, so the very first time kudoganya gusa and my journey on the other hand actually my husband nare outside Kenya at Itango Tanzania akinagerea kuja every night. In fact I mean every weekend indikana ajaga kazi ngari Friday ogoro akinya Saturday utuku ani very late Friday kana Saturday kurika na boga but I remember kinyama the nyanya then Saturday by the Sunday by the itano kaire na guchoka na through that weekend they demanding atemba go travel nandi by the 6th month every month you expect baby are conceived and then go kinya somewhere and ambira ndego take what we call Google doctor. The Google donor mbera after 6 months kama hujatoa kuambia kuona gynecologist when to betha bere like another friend of mine ombere before agorona aria kombere kona gaina buga na ntari na such kind of advice mtu ntari nkiuga mtu no asira kuona mwana but you know like how already my own story nayo ko ambere gutegwa she's taking some supplements which could be required but me ntari na that information and I started not obvious you're not even expecting to struggle anyway na ndende Google that ndambira ndekona
then for 6 months
yes 6 months only no korikana I was expecting the first to get 2 months actually the first 2 months and discouragement yambereri ntona demo eri mbere na I didn't conceive joy ere and in my mind it's like the honeymoon night that's when I was supposed to conceive and I mean ndambira gweta gynecologist twakara Nakuru we met in Nakuru kundeka Nakuru ki private doctors gynecologist ndambira na the process ya kutegwa anything related to reproduction system tubes whatever ovulation and all that the journey ndikana ko didiro tubes and okay most of the time there got the results it's unexplained infertility na testimony atomaga kinyendi kana teuba ovulation you almost lose your job nontorerwa kuja leo skip kesho kuja kesho for 3 days na ndio Monday orombero that Wednesday which works like that with a Monday orombero with a Wednesday orombero with a Friday you know remarkably and it's you are risking your job mtu nyama telewa na ujere mtu na ngogene nyana eta interview bakarika na uka na karetre interview na ndio gwita go sign contract and all that you know no muleki somehow but okay iko kinya somewhere to akijira na next sense ndone nyanda daktari baraba Nakuru teke bakomba ndambira kuja bana Nairobi agakaa Nairobi hospital to get to the finest doctors no ndara medical cover na baraba karega ndomba kurea so yakinya next sense one doctor ugara ndi mzena watego mtu nandi bambirere ni unexplained we did roka hormones thyroid nini today nyende na whenever I did clean up when nyombo kona rorata siruanga job tutakwata job offers yana Nakuru gata na sleep those ones I don't lose they have built part of my testimony test it on the na my x-ray on the dinasi so my husband and there were atimwe and you know men ko batonya kinya usindone corona test stress na ndio unaenda kupimiwa spams anyway adimwa ero isawa na ndito it's more complicated and ndiko na need to the lady who is me you are okay na ndiba ugambuga the problem with the man na yoni ugere is okay ndita twachoka to move in Nairobi in 2011 toko move tutakarakare Nakuru toko move Nairobi there's a friend of mine actually to Arena College ambera ora tubaragia she just mentioned I think adamwera about my stress ambera unajua so and so our classmate ajipata mtoto after 5 years I mean but I think ni kama nilisikia alipata ndage ana interest amara kufuatilia uniambie afuatilia ambera alipata achoka mpa contact then this other friend of mine area kwa so rich married aikara those leafy suburbs of Nairobi na ndenya no gukira ko approach no to college take away the way close na every classmate and people also change but inkwenda kuigwa story ewe menyethero ekantede kinyani na areterere succeed 5 years but God gave me favor not to she's born again she embraced me very well na ndia jana to desperation erante na yoni how to get help ambera the doctor she has been seeing data no ndambere kona that same doctor kwa ambera tele kento baba inge kumbe it's still not working for me na ndia kinyere to an extent this same desperation ambera we finally arena the net tubes they were blocked na this doctor mudivere at test and it was the rombere sitagwa HSG I can't remember the name in full of course it's a difficult medical term ambira yawe etrena ndingita wala parascope minor surgery kuba didagianga pia tangambia ngambi lerada suggested daktari uni ngweni komo suggested no I'm thinking if the same is done to me exactly na ndeteka I got into theater da nyan mbuga takanda did 3 operations even if I have 2 kids not to da did 3 operation you lakini results daktari angaka nogi nyamwera kwa did 2 am not that doctor is busy Rukiri, you'll find up blind people au meau kwina bara ako delivana kwi bara ana deliveriana kubona Rukiri ena surgery kwa thithero 2 am na ndaiterwa results lakini results yako cia vague utikwonwa kwina thina sijui angakandikira left tubes maitajaire gintu takiu eno ntutuko na no and all that go ntoni even a clear result even after going through the surgery. After nkora when I felt better to got with atueresere na ndewe akarikana ethira na ndinyandikire left anga left iko hivi na ndina mtu na left na right no that thing auto peli niuma no ntona ndia so desperate to an extent of with a surgery na nyote iliwena thina alafu nya surgery rate ukarite any good result kana any helpful results. Tuendelea tu na I think nitekorikana tuendelea kumwona but jikana another cousin of mine she was really praying with me na compare courage. She's also a nurse na ndiko even her she had a colleague after 4 years she got twins. That did not do kile kiworo ongena we daktari or that other friend ndambira kona that doctor told us we'll do another itakwa taura AI ngombe IUI something like that wekewe nini and then he traveled out of the country before he did that. Alafu my husband is so supportive akarake mbarage me anything which will be done straight to your body I don't think is necessary. Bora I have you we can adopt. That was really encouraging. And another thing na the family where I come from the Nantaveje Murungu they have born again. My sister-in-law is mostly in-laws barigara nata mwari atikuretera madhako wana uka kiro pressure nye you remarries and all that but they were supportive and they loved their son and they were my mother-in-law and the firstborn sister-in-law they were praying and fasting for us ndikana kinya lastborn sister of my husband akimbera ni got them to ejafika we just encouraged that I had a lot of support from that so ni got them to ejafika. So I thank God to that support system area as we walked through this. Nande besides that, tikuari nande na friends. Friends barabo are abo college, secondary, neighbors. Nande na we nere mtu atakupigia Terri. Ulipata. Any mtu akukeza yuko ingevi. Na uje excited no recall Irene ora mpombo kuori harmony enderete ama your family how you doing? Ulipata. Bado nuje na ndio ni a friend anakata how does that leave you feeling ndio obvious na ndio buga kumtunyo kumuri na Terri aliyopata neno buga kwa na story sego itakwaria I don't know but ingeniweka chini sana ndambira ndio kusitenga nanto not even when you see a call you don't know kama ni ile ya ulipata ama and it's not helpful inakuweka tu chini na ndio ndambira kwa alienated socially mirano I lost even friends not we na morano nteja and they reserve and peto si na reserve atu bote beterete kuona mwendo in fact there is more reserve around ingera mbera tomuntu itoejere na ndio kadika this lady is even very very fine and expect a call from such a person but I remember a friend of my mom tomuntu itoejere so anyway that's I remember a friend of mine was very close nya lose the mom na ndio was alienate nuntu. Those are the questions. Antu bagutonga keu bange bagutega. Mtu agutega message na mai. Pekera ko ni sitrita on the laughter on the smile on the kiwa kimto kudima hiyo ni tu ni mimba nuje mtu nyama poti ama ni kipoti. Mtu anabara. Yeah, ona sia kwaria so to speak but na ndinda sieka baby shower ntekwenda gwita mira ndo ntekwenda gwita funeral ntekwenda gwita and then let me be to myself. That is like from the second year. No, I remember that too soon. Like kuma 2011, 2012. Yeah, and then by the 6th month already ndari kwambire kuona nkimenya hapa sasa ni kubaya. Alafu na ndimi sikuwa ni waisikia. I think that nowadays not to by YouTube search interviews and all that. Ntare what there is anything like called childless. Now when I was in that space, I don't like kumenya mtu baba inge. I met so many like now that friend of mine kukwira na karita 5 years. I'm pastor Emoshoreo, karite 4 years. We even became friends when she's a counselor. At some time she counseled me. Unto it's not easy. We get the whole world outside. And then dikana kinya job. The ngogera ndo nenda Nairobi, a very well paying job. I lost the job not for the same thing. ndaringo karataka kwa depressed unto you either run away from God or you draw near mine, and it drew me near to God. Ndari nyango tiga gwita kanisa somehow nonto kwa circumstances ntukuwa mzee kinya 2 am Saturday usiku utuko akara moshi is not even nande atukilandi tu hapa Tanzania lazima uingie kwa ndani na ndindikana for him nande yako choka around the star. Most of the time I used to miss church. Na ndenda mbere kwa higher time is going to beta church rere ati ku such things you see. Na ndeno mtono monka you umwike by 11 mukoko kwa barabara leo mbuge hiyo service kwa mberia umoringereti and all that. So ndande mine some people it takes them away from God. No ndona murungu ati kuendete ati kukuigwa. So for me it drew me back to God. That on nini kanisa nendene boega. Then I started prayer and fasting, and by the way, God used to put me in the right hand. Can you say that Morungu Ambikeri, the pastor, had struggled for not 1, not 2, 12 years. Now their story was different. Baba Conceive, Kenya 6 months, Kauma, and I want to believe in between maybe 2-3 years you have not conceived. They had lost 6 pregnancies. Alienated na people. Yeah, so inyane ndrele close to God. No, the dog in the indoors. Yeah, dog in the indoors. The cheza ndimbo siya gospel. We can encourage. Na this space ya kwa I filled it with God. I lost the job no mtonda tonyaga. Ngangwa mkwerera ntonyere kimurungu na ndenga tonye kono ma Bible. Nairobi na yona traffic nuije. Uka my job all along you are driving in traffic utemba ku settle. Udama devotion umere very early. Na ndeo ni nikoona ndambiri yangu again tena nyamani acha nianze devotion. My boss jana okay my office akaza mwendo Bible nkodoma, you know, maybe even 30 minutes after kuingia job no to eno kwenda ku feel that emptiness. Alafu na did reporting. I'm an accountant by profession. Accountant uje madhabu na mbisi and concentration and all that. Ukaona departmental reporting oni I was somehow getting into depression. Tutwera watu na departmental reporting na meeting ika scheduled. Everybody akavizi akinyaki onike edira hata sikufanya, and I've attended the meeting so comfortably. It's like I was losing my world. Na ndiko kedra oni I don't have anything to present, and that's how I lost that job. Na patendi menyano mtoi pateje my story. Like even me later on the I think inyewe depressed utemenya, I don't know. Later on the was I lost the job under no circumstances. Yani omba kugongo kuiro ngao lakini when I start adding up nikalika ni obsession ilienda addition na my space. So nande kukinya to a point of losing my job iko mbaya mono ndakara nyomba ngeta lancha wa nija netonyera mantu ya Murungu mono because you either become extreme out of God or in God. Nande in God nande I remember I stopped seeing the doctors than be retreat. I remember in 2012 ndona a certain doctor on the TV. Akiara herbal. So I jagantu Conceive. Na ujira bareta nya testimonials of these people. Hey, mimi huyo. So nene papa manko bisisi out town nanda mbire kunyonda. Sio nandinda wanu ngere hope. Yani dega somebody has done this akapata mtoto. Kamenya sasa that's where my success is. So ndata ndabire kunyonda and I will shock you after 3 months or 2 months or a few months I conceived. Yes, I conceived na ndamenya this is it. But nduku mwe
ndikana after 2 years.
That is 2012. Go it 2013. I can't remember well. Actually, that is the 3rd year of marriage. Yeah, the 3rd year. So you can imagine, and that means it's 2012 months to 2010. So you can imagine under the joy. I have never conceived actually all my life anything. Then here I am, and then my tears have been wiped and all that. Yes, I went to hospital. But what happened ngukara ore you skip your menses then ande go extend kidogo ndari nyako mbere any symptoms then they go tukimo funny mbere nyando gane gwita sibitari. Then I went to hospital na they apparently daktari mbere ko did everything for confirm the pregnancy is positive, and then mbere we testing, you know, it's a long time ago. And then I can't remember, I used to test tora to finje to chemist. And then my cycle my cycle is somehow irregular. Eka kinyanya 40 days sasa najua basi. Alafu you see the brain really speaks. The brain ikuera inyoa mbele gutaika ikakuera kinya the taste nini. So when I go and test after even 40 days, I'm making a 40 mbone, you know, I'm at 38. To the cycle that is already overboard. Na tunanya doctors, I used to tell them sometimes ekrangu navuka sana baka uga.
Nyawe bere ugoro.
Now do you know that other time you are not keen? Some of these things, you are not keen. Utashtukia tu, you are not keen. But my cycle all along used to be regular. I think in this dawa squeeze ability could destabilize. Yeah, that's why I was hitting those funny days. Now then the thunder testing negative, you break it down. Any hey, I was crying my manager Makamasi. That friend of mine you are met, this friend who had stayed for 5 years, my former college mates, Ambera niko nalia machozi ya Makamasi. Na then on to we get a hope. Nyako ko yani umejazia tu it has happened. Na then we just katastikari ko confirm wake tunapata ni negative. Na then nko mbere kuigwa fani ndeta hospitali bandhiria test daktari ambera kuiba kwa na hormones igichange mpeo bed rest na mpeo mandaja ku boost hormones to support pregnancy and all that. So they were bed rest for 4 days ndikia govine and I were roda. But now I miscarried at around 12 weeks, maybe 3 months. Now it was really crashing, very crashing. Not to now you've cried, you've been desperate, kila kitu. And remember to an extent of this is that the nyinti gere kona madaktari ni I'm on herbals and I self treatment and I imbi. Ndagira njara buru herbals hizo si arinda wewe karonda wasi kawaida tiria mitishamba and all that. Why I'm saying that is because kweli ndo abiri nyara kwenye mitishamba isi arina ndiko badondeke to just take like kawaida tabu hii nyinge wasiekara jirani kelo kinya na ndina abiri self treatment ila si akosi ya YouTube ya Google. Google, you know, in Japan and China, mostly they use herbals to treat. And they get very infertility, YouTube, I mean, fallopian tubes, kedrone hormones, kedrone whatever, kedrone mayai kwa siya healthy, that's such. Then there is Healthy You. Now a lot of Healthy You. It's a very expensive shop in town. How the opposite can come. I mean, you understand to see many points, and they are expensive. I would buy that way together even for 8K. So me, I don't mind even 12K. Bora at Nandinta. Now it turned out with all those expenditures and all of you, nothing. 2013 years, now 2013 something happened. What and I draw close to God. God started talking to me. I mean, what and I see mbali kirianto na bado I'm close with God. Na Kinya church I was just attending. I loved singing all my life. Na de pastor ambera wewe ingia worship. Ndikumwe na didn't kwenda kumirara. Tonyana na by then tajikene kanisa. Me I was driving into church. Naenda pastor akiba ambije. And maybe one more person, and that lady I looked for her later after kwambele yako compose. Ndimbo I'll get into that. So na ndino mtunte kwenda otonyana na anto indikana. I think people still know ntuba kuona okija kanisa ne for 3 years but kuona na mwana or anything. There's a day ndajukiri mwana ora atakadakagia kana. It used to happen that couple to karaba most of the time. Ora atakadakagia taana kama mwakro kama place dia nare nako. One day kana rakienda tukueja aligrabiwa. That's when I got kumbe anto huku labda hata kama nimejificha kuna vile hii kitu inaweza kuwa ine huku ya. So tukwemana then I was deep into God. Dasira Murungu was start serving. But then there is a friend of mine who gave me this counselor. Tukwera counselor, she gave me a book called The Purpose Driven. Dambira kumedoma. Towards the end, somewhere, kwa chapter ambaye about serving. Or when do you just go to event, I can challenge the people with giftings in the church. You just warm the bench ukirogeta. You know even your purpose as far as God has put those gifts and talents in you. Dawa ndita mbone pastor ndirogwa boba no tunande presentership bagorana go au the Conceive to tugere to honeymoon babies even relatives kama wali maybe she's even 22 ako weda or even 25 or even 26 28 you know immediately they conceive mama twins you know. So that there are pastor me I want to serve and I want to serve in the presentership. And pastor wetu no nagwa when I knelt down there amburire kuna kitu liambia Mungu na weta mwaka ndagere kudugania. And when I was working in Nakuru in 2008 I had said ka compose ndimbo niku andiwa I had said nangeta nkagwa story hana ore bikagwa people singing about say hana ama Musa whatever ama the ark nkambere ku conceive ku compose ndimbo from the Bible just like that with the phone. And Irene, once I composed that song, it will remain there as words. So I had a lot of that experience and I forgot about that. Kore pastor mbira ajambira kugento promise murungu angamwaka jure ko ndari kana manto jandimbo jambijera ndamuira when I was still kneeling at the altar. So he prayed over me about ndimbo ambira go start that which God you had told God you would do. Na ndio ndachokera nyumba na prayer fasting chakwa hisia mwana ndo sa vindu mbo siambiria tukuja naturally no kuona mbere murungu. I'll not focus on history ku conceive anymore kwa bold. I'm going to serve you kitu ndenda gutonya worship na ndingo eka ndimbo ile I started composing ndimbo sirembejera for my own healing not to area my situation childlessness ndere murungu. I'm going to serve you, you will find me when I'm serving. And that same day ndetere kuturia marundi kana ile 2013 in front of pastor. I hope it's the same day Ntekario Rongo a prophesy nande about Anna. Ambire tekone 2013 tori. Ambire 2014 you will laugh. Nakumbira 2014 you will laugh ongera. Ambire you will have 3 babies and the firstborn will be a boy. We unye mwere ula amejukiri with a lot of faith that prophecy. Untundari become very deep in faith. Ndika nyanke andika ara ana bako the names of my kids nkandika imani. You know that faith which was deep in me. And then Imani had decided I'll use it if it's a boy or a girl. So when we got into 2014, my husband got very fresh. On Terakorika na gokwera. In all this desperation, I would get a test tube babies, IVF. In Nande we had gone to him, that famous guy, and he told us to do the test. Natwa way back. Which I did at that beginning of the year. Instead of computer, we have tried all the kawaida doctors, but to Jaribi IVF. I got the test yamen, the Terri'S say what it involves, but the test yamen is a bit complicated. Let's start with mine. And they were in there and that there are tubes. The devil is a lie. Now they talk about the 2014, no number you will laugh. I have faith in Ara. I don't know, but what I'm done, I'm a pro and I'm in Bangataka and there. And don't I, in my heart, I just say, you are blessed, I'm next. Don't I'm you are blessed, I'm next in my heart. Yes, now the 2014, and then there's some hope that has been planted. Itamwana mwirite on your birthday ngakugurira gita na twere gwitie gita kuuga kwena some excitement inside them kwenya kira kantu naja. But for me 2014 kuhitio imani randa get after this prophecy. I don't know. Ndari na huzuni gura ndetherabo ndina bombere ukugira when I see a pregnant woman. I remember nyange crossera moya veni somewhere after kwena galitoza. I remember the first time I saw someone and I felt nothing. So I was really crossing, I expectant that I was like, you're blessed, I'm next. Alafu na ndi mzee atiwire, we agreed to ambere kuona that doctor. So when I did my test, hey, the devil is a liar. Ndaringo tigana ndawire habo, but at some point, ntekwenda ona anything desperation ikatonya. There's a time I saw a Chinese clinic. Na ndio tujembere I was doing self-treatment. Don't alafu na Chinese go treat and na hapo serious yao ndeta na mbele kuona that lady. I remember it was is it November. Ampanda hawa ambera I'll test tubes and everything after 3 months. So na ndio 3 months you siatiraga around the same time daktari ugambetendidio tubes. So ndawaita no kirete hope kiresi also no finally you've been treated by a physician. Not God did it and you let me say physician. So tubes you ma both blocked. Test you. Na no kuona this faith yenye nilikuwa naona mtu hata anasema you're blessed and next. That thing didn't get into me. That at your both tubes blocked. Nta discourage kana ndira kawaida ingekuwa sasa kulia kukosa hope mbimbi. Nataka daktari my husband are sita kwa hii part-time classes Saturday morning na ndia are wata didero test to trimane tuetake daktari test didero mapema because we were expecting a queue doctor 9 there was nobody that didero and daktari alinga dasta ndatonya tu by 9 I was done but I'm being done with bad news. Now I'm both tubes are blocked for the first time. Nkona nterwa anything like that. Yes, na this is when even I should be hopeless and what, but who is God? Death and daktari na gukwijia nkoro ndakua nkoro kabisa, I mean ndabwiri gukua nkoro kabisa, nontu daktari ambirite now success ye IVF 25%, number 1. Number 2, success ye block the tubes again 25%. Na ndikinya IVF irapo wikirite hope kireo. So when I met my husband, ndamuringi nambwira nkurikirwa mbere, let's meet somewhere for coffee by 11. Nikamwambia news, his heart sank. And that is the first time I ever saw him be discouraged. All along he was acting brave for me. When the miscarriage happened, and I connected, and we have conceived. That is the first time they comment on a reaction in Koro Nama. But Ambira IVF are correct. Not to commit the whole system or to and all that. Ambira, I don't think when you go through that, we'll just adopt and forget. None then every quarter to adopt after, you don't feel woman enough. Those challenges you kumburi. And for him, he was like, as long as I have you, I'm your child, I'm your mother. You know, all along I was like an orphan unto mommy. Even those down moments when I used to remember my mother and I'm your mom, I'm your father, I'm your child, kila kitu. So he really used to be supportive.